I have a very good friend whose son actually had 2 tours of duty, and currently is experiencing a very traumatic post-stress challenges. Currently, he's actually in a prison because when he came back, he actually experienced the loss of 6 friends. 3 were lost shortly after he left from his first tour. And of course, as has been mentioned here this morning, that to lose a loved one or to lose a fellow a member of your team is like losing your heart and soul yourself. Well, this young man just got back and found that 3 of his friends were killed right after he left Iraq. In spite of that, he signed up and decided to go back again. Then went to Bosnia and spent some time, and came home after spending a year in Bosnia, and shortly after they lost 3 more friends. And I know we can tell this story time and time again. We can change the face, we can change the name, but we know that it's happening, and it's one of the major challenges that we're facing in this current war on terror. I know that as Congress, we have accelerated the services to veterans, especially in the psychological needs and trauma for head injury, but also we have instituted numerous new studies to see what we can do to help. Again, I will applaud my colleague, Shelley Berkeley, who has been a leader in this area. I, too, have been working with the military and have passed legislation to help with those specific occupations within the military. Not unlike my friend's son, who is currently in prison, and he went to prison because of a major nervous disorder. He started using alcohol, then graduated into using methamphetamine, and was arrested for possession. And he could well serve possession of narcotics. He could well serve for 15 years. But as the family shared with me the challenges, they also explained, and it comes up frequently in our hearings, that a lot of these young men and women that are coming back are afraid to talk about it for fear of being tagged in the community, for fear of losing an assignment, for fear of losing their top security clearance. So there is truly a silent majority of our family and friends out there that are currently in trauma. So I ask of all of you, make sure if you know any of these folks and they feel that they can't comfortably share in their experience, to contact one of their members of Congress, but also the VA. But we want to make sure that they're not held accountable or responsible or lose any of their potential future because of this tragic trauma that's happening in their lives. My legislation, as I mentioned, is specific to occupation. You know, there's new ways of fighting war in the war on terror, and we have a lot of facilities here in Nevada where we're using predators and electronic technology, where a lot of the war on terror is happening actually here in the States. It's happening with computers, it's happening here with all the new visual and technology. But my legislation is targeting those higher risk areas of the military that may be different in this war as in the past. A case in point, if you're a young man or a woman that's assigned to operate one of the unmanned predators, end of the day, you may well be checking out after 12 hours on duty or 10 hours or 8 or 4 or 3 or 2, whatever it is, having spent the day in a full-fledged battle somewhere in the deserts of the Middle East. But you may well be here in Nevada, or you may be somewhere in Texas, or you may be somewhere in Iowa. Well, what's happening is that these young men and women literally may be on duty for 3 or 4 hours and have been involved in taking the lives of some of the terrorists, but then they check out and go home. And they may then have to go right to a school function or to a church function. And of course, due to confidentiality, they can't talk about it. So these are some of the things that we're working on that are unique to the war on terror, but also all the occupations, so we can target areas of specific needs in advance. The chairman also mentioned a lot of things, and I know time is of the essence at this point, but I want to share with you just one last comment. As a member of Congress that's grew up in a family where my father served in the Aleutians, and he passed away in 1995 at the age of 78. But literally, it was 30 days before he passed away that he started to talk about his experiences in the Aleutian Islands. And I want to make sure that every one of you and all of your friends and family have an opportunity to do the Veterans History Project. All members of Congress have the ability to help you relay your history, your story, so we can pass it on to future generations. Close to 100,000 veterans across the country have shared their story. We would like to do the same, whether you're in Las Vegas or in Texas. It takes 20 minutes to 45 minutes to talk about it. I only wished that I had that opportunity with my father before he passed away. And as we serve as members of Congress, we have the opportunity to walk through the U.S. Capitol most every day. And I stop every day when I go through the dome, the rotunda area of the Capitol, and I hope to someday give you all a tour. You're welcome to join me. But I stop every day and I reflect upon all the men and women who have served our country, all those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice. Because we know that today, as in the past 200 years, people are trying to take away our freedoms. And I want to assure you that whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, you're an American. And whether you are a disabled American veteran or currently serving our country or a family member, that yes, we as a country have our share of blemishes, and we have challenges, and we always have challenges and blemishes. But I hold true to every day as I walk through the Capitol and when I fly back into the great community of Southern Nevada, that I know in spite of our blemishes, in spite of our problems, we live in the greatest nation in the world, thanks to all of you. So I'm honored to be here, and thank you all very, very much.